You're listening to Life Check Yourself with life coach, transformational leader, and dating and relationship badass, Marni Batista. Every week, you'll get the raw truth from top experts and real people on the important life and love issues you want to know about. So if you're ready to life check yourself in your relationships, your career, and the areas of your life that matter most to you, and you're not afraid to be called out on your, stuff, then you're ready for what's next.
Life Check Yourself with Mike Goldstein. Why some women attract better men online with less effort. Happy New Year! If you're listening to this and it's like June, just whatevs. It was the new year. I'm with Mike G, the famous Mike G here at Life Check Yourself. Mike Goldstein is one of our top rated shows again and again because he is the man for online dating. He is the founder of Easy Dating Coach, and he helps men and women make dating and relationships easy. He's been on the Today Show, the Star Ledger, Reader's Digest, Shape Magazine. 83% people of Mike's clients enter relationships, which is the highest success rate in the country. He accomplishes this by using data from multiple major online dating sites. Yes, it's true. To ensure his clients only need to meet 68 people to find someone they like. 6 to 8, not 68. And they get into a relationship 3 to 4 months within working of him. And then they learn how to understand men and set sexy boundaries and fight fair and all the shit you got to do because the dating part can be the easiest part of the whole thing when you do it the Mike G way. Welcome, Mr. Goldstein.
Thank you. Marni, you sound so happy. This is like the happiest I've heard you sound in a while. You seem like just like a ball of energy today.
I'm a ball of energy. I just moved into my new house that I'm staying in for 3 months after moving my fucking ass around since November 1st. And I have an office and I am just really excited about 2022. And when I saw that I was going to talk to you, that is just like my favorite day ever.
Yes.
So there you go. So, ladies, if you are new to the world of us, we have had Mike on a few of our episodes back when we were the Dating Den, and we were talking about online dating and sites and dating during the pandemic. And we always want to bring Mike back because he is the go-to guru that we turn to on our team, even when we want to find out what's going on with online dating. And so it's a new year. I think, do you have any data? Is it like the Monday after New Year's or something, the best time ever to go online? Like, is that actual trueness that the new year is the best time to start dating online?
Yeah, it actually is. It's the Sunday right after New Year's is the biggest time. And then obviously you've got the gyms full on January and you've got the online dating sites full in January because everyone's like, New Year, I'm going to find my love. And then they ramp it up in January. But yes, the biggest is always the Sunday after New Year's.
Okay, well, you missed that. But what's great is this. It's like when you go to the gym, it's really crowded and there's like a lot of people who you're never going to see again. So I think whenever you listen to this, just know that the funnel was filled with a whole lot of new, amazing people. I read some data a month or two ago, and I don't have it right in front of me, but I think it was something like 57% of people online now are looking for serious relationships. And now it's more men than women that are actually saying they're looking for something serious, given what's gone down in our society in the last couple of years. Do you see that? Do you see that in your...
That is such cool data. And
I know, right?
I love that because it dispels the myth that men are not looking for commitment because it's not true.
It's so not true. And I think, tell me what you think in your, last year or so since we've been in this pandemic culture. Like, do you think that people, regardless of their sort of male, female, whatever it is, that people are wanting more connection, like more meaningful connection now more than ever?
I mean, anecdotally speaking, from all the people I talk to, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
They're seeing, especially the folks that live at home and then had to go through this just by themselves. They're like, wow, I need a partner. Like, this is miserable by myself. Like, I need to find someone.
Yeah, and I think too, lots of people, I mean, I know we had so many clients get into relationships during the pandemic, debunking the myth that you couldn't date during COVID. And there's been so many iterations of COVID. When we're recording this, we're in our Omicron phase. It's like we could just do like a timeline of our shows based on like what variant is hot and happening now. But the bottom line is, why do you think, what do you think is getting in the way of women who are listening, like getting in their way so that they don't take advantage of like what is happening, that there's just a ripe opportunity for love?
Yeah, I think there's two problems that women, two major, I think there's 7 problems, but 2 of the biggest ones I want to talk about now are, the first one, women believe there's no good guys online and it's a waste of time. And the second thing they think is it's a lot of freaking work.
Yeah.
It's like a second job and they're already busy and they don't want to do the second job. And my counter to that is, first of all, the data shows that 1 out of 3 marriages is coming from online dating. And it doesn't need to be a full-time job. Marni's clients, my clients, that are all using my system are just doing online dating for an hour and a half a week, 30 minutes, 3 times a week. Then they go on 1 date per week. And if you implement this system, you just need to meet 6 to 8 men and you will find someone you like.
I think this is so brilliant. So ladies, you're like, is it really that simple? Yes, it really is that simple. And what is amazing about it is, though, and I know Mike and I are 100% on the same page as this, because we collaborate in trying to help our clients in a lot of different ways, is that, and this is what I really want you all to hear, the strategy is simple. The thing that will get in your way is your freaking mindset, right? And your sabotage patterns. Because I don't know about you, but here's what I find that happens with my clients before we have to because you don't know what you don't know. So once they do the method and they get all these dates, it like debunks that I can't meet men or there's no good men. And then we start to see them sabotaging, right? Possible great matches, because they've gotten rid of the excuse that there's nobody to date. So now we're getting them these dates and they're fucking it up in new ways. So when you see your clients, and they're like going on these dates, what are ways that you see them possibly getting in their own way?
Wow, great question. This is definitely like, when folks are doing this, I send them to either Helena Hart or Marni Batista, because
right?
That's your guys' area. But when that stuff happens, what we're seeing is sometimes women are just avoidant. The biggest thing I'm seeing is men are craving access to a woman and craving to get to know her. And I'm seeing a lot of women not really showing him who they are, and they're trying to be perfect. And so they're being perfect. And for a while, the guy's like, got his eyes all big and he's like, wow, I met this amazing woman. She's gorgeous. She has a great job, blah, blah, blah. But then we get to like date 6, date 8, date 9. And now he's like, all right, I'm done with the perfect thing. I got that. I'm already in. I like this woman. But now I want to see who she really is. I want to see some of the stuff that's wrong. And she doesn't show that because she's not being vulnerable. And so he doesn't see the vulnerability. And ultimately, we see this guy then pull away or disappear. And then women get angry. They're like, I was perfect. Why did he disappear? It's because he got bored, because he didn't feel like he had access to who you really were and are.
That is so huge, because, and I really think this is important. Like, I think they come in buckets. There's the I can't get any dates. Well, that's just use the Mike G method, duh. With all the right assets in place, right? Which I think about that as your photo and your profile and all those things. And Mike and I have gone over that in multiple episodes together, so we won't repeat ourselves. But duh, get that part. Then there's the people who can't get past the first or second date. Then there's the people who do these very short dating bursts with quality men, and they don't get to the next level. So what you're talking about here is that you're seeing that women have a little bit of a guard up. They're like an arm's length away. And if a guy is dating multiple people and this one isn't progressing, he's going to lose interest, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, he just wants to see who you really are. And he doesn't see you as authentic after a while when you're just being perfect and not sharing and just he's just bored. He's like, I want to see your flaws. Show me what's wrong. And he's going to accept it because he's already decided he liked you for the most part. And so he doesn't feel the authenticity in you. So he's going to pull away and be bored.
So, what is, when you say be vulnerable or show the real you, can you give an example? Because I think some people might think, oh God, I have to tell them the story of my childhood and how I was, abused, or about my 3 marriages that failed. Like, when you say the real you, what does that mean to you? What is a guy looking for?
Yeah, let me
in
just
that?
use myself as an example.
I love it when you use yourself. By the way, ladies, Mike G is attractive and a single man. So I can be his matchmaker and his wing girl here as well. So just DM Dating with Dignity if you want to meet Mike Goldstein. Okay, that was my ad for you. Go ahead.
Oh, geez, oh, boy. Okay. All right. So like when I'm, at some point, maybe we talk about the love languages and she goes, what's your love language? And I go words of appreciation. And maybe she'll ask me like, well, what's caused you to be words of appreciation? Well, I had an amazing childhood and I had the greatest parents ever, but my dad is not a person that opens up emotionally. He's not going to tell me when he's proud of me. He's just not. So now when anyone gives me words of appreciation, I light up. And that's, explaining what my childhood was like a little bit.
I love that. And that's such a great way to say it, because it shows what you didn't get, but it also shows the adult part of you that's aware of it and can express that into a current need. So y'all should rewind, do that little 30-second backwards and listen to that part again, because we're not saying tell the damn sad story, because it is sad, right? What we're saying is show something that happened and how you acknowledge it and have worked through it, what you know about yourself and how it translates into something that this guy's going to learn about you. I mean, that makes so much more sense.
Yes.
And I think by the way, I think you're really amazing. And I really do mean that. And so I'm going to always remind you how amazing you are, because I believe I like words of appreciation also, by the way.
Well, you're obviously fantastic. And that's why I love being around you. You always compliment me. It's like you just always make me smile, and you're the best.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about this thing. So you're on these dates. You're using the Mike G method. You are getting dates. You're showing who you really are. You're not telling your drama. We also have an episode on being addicted to drama, so watch that. And then if you're not being careful, I see also a lot of ladies that they meet these great guys and they sabotage in another way because he's like too nice, or they rule him out because of this stupid ass shit that is like, would be nice if he was exactly like you, but that's never going to happen. Do you have any examples of that, of how somebody maybe was going to sabotage because they were looking for perfect?
Yeah. I think a lot of the time it has to do with attraction. Like lately I've been working with a ton of over 60 women. And let's just be honest. Let's call it what it is. Over 60-year-old men have not taken care of themselves so well.
Some haven't.
Yeah, some haven't. So women are like, man, there's no one attractive on here. And I'm like, all right, there's 2,000 options. There's got to be a few somewhat attractive guys here. So we go on some dates, but I'll never forget my story with Isabella. Isabella goes on this date with this guy, Nick, who is a college professor. He's been published like 20 times. Not much dating experience. I think he's like in his 40s, 50s. She's in her 40s. And she gets there and she's like, oh man, I am not attracted to this guy. He's got no swagger, just not the best looking guy, whatever. So she comes back and reports back and she's like, Mike, I was like, how was the conversation? 0 out of 10. She goes, it was a 10. Really? But she's like, I'm not attracted to him. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? Did he ask you out again? She's like, yes. You going to go? Yes. She goes on second date, comes back. Mike, I'm not attracted to this guy. How was the conversation? It was a 10. All right, you going to keep going? Fourth, fifth date. All of a sudden he's planning these like extravagant dates that are really nice. Still haven't kissed, nothing sexual. Finally, on the 8th date, she decides to go on the 8th date. They kiss. She reports back. She goes, Mike, Nick is the sexiest man alive.
What happened?
The kiss. The kiss and like the guy really grew on her. Like the guy's a genius. He's written 20 books. He's a PhD. She's like, she started getting a little insecure. Am I smart enough? And she's, smart in her own right. She's a chemist. Yeah, like the kiss. And then just so you know the outcome, they got married, I think like 3 or 4 years ago. So we just sometimes, if the conversation, if we're looking at like an 8, 9, 10, I'd give those a chance. If you got a conversation 7 and below, then you don't have to give those folks a chance.
I think that's...
Does that make sense?
Yeah, such great advice because I see that too. And I hear the silliest shit. So I'm just going to name some of the silliest shit because I just want y'all to know that I think it's silly. Maybe Mike does too. I don't know. But like, I really need a guy who has more hair. This guy doesn't have like shoes, like very bad shoes. He doesn't talk to his children as much as like I would like him to. Like, I'm really close with my family. There must be something wrong with him that he's not close with his children. Like all those sorts of things like can be question marks that can be further explored. But what I love about what you're saying, Mike, is that on date 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like you're being curious about those things rather than automatically ruling out. Because I think what happens is in your method that our listeners get so used to it not going the way they want it to, that when it does start to go that way, their default is sort of like stuck in the story of like nothing works for me because they're afraid.
Yeah, that's such a sad way to put it.
That's me, New Year cheer.
Yeah. Can I make this really easy?
Yeah,
folks?
please. We love to make it easy.
All right, so I'm easy dating coach. It's got to be easy.
Easy, baby.
So like we can analyze these dates until we're blue in the face.
Yes, we can.
Let's stop that.
Okay.
I want you to do a super binary decision. How does this person make me feel? Then let's go a little deeper. How does they make me feel when I'm on the date? How do they make me feel in between dates? If the answer is I feel good, keep going. If you feel anxious, you don't feel good, something went wrong, that's reasonable, then maybe that's not your guy. But if you feel good, rock and roll.
Keep going. And I think that's so important because that's that overanalyzing that will suck the life out of you and suck the life out of the possibilities, which sucks. Okay, let's talk about this. How have things sort of normalized now that this is our new way, right? We're in pandemic culture. It just is what it is. I was thinking the other day, I was back in LA and I was looking out at the beach and I said to my husband, remember that silly time when they thought if they closed the beaches that COVID was going to go away? We're all going to stay home for 6 weeks. And we all believed it. We're like, okay, silly us. But this is just our new normal, and it's interesting. And so I think there's been we've talked about this many times, like a lot of really great things that have come of it. And one of them is, video dates, virtual dates. Like, has there been any change in your process in terms of like what sites to use, asking for video dates versus meeting in the person, talking on the phone? Like, what's any updates that we need to know about since you have your finger on the pulse?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's gotten so much easier and so much better to date right now. Reason being, like, so obviously 2 years ago when this thing was going nuts, we were doing mostly Zoom dates.
Yep.
And now, at the time that we're filming January, like most people want to meet in person. They're open. They're not too afraid. But it gives us access to options. For our folks that have a ton of options, like I have this this new client, and this is not normal, but she's very fortunate. In 2 days, she got 100 messages on Match. We just put up her profile, and these are not normal. But because she's got 100 options, like people are more open to other options. So because we got to get that narrowed down and not waste her time, we're doing 15-minute phone calls.
Okay.
And with other folks, maybe they're busy. Instead of getting, all dolled up in the car, driving some distance. We're doing Zoom dates, and people are way more open to the Zoom date, even if there's no reason to do it. They just do it because, some of these desirable folks have so many options. We need to do quick Zoom dates, like 15 minutes, 40 minutes, and see if there's a fit so that we can quickly, if it is the wrong fit, get on to the next date at some point.
And what do you do? So these are all these questions that women ask when they come to our man lab. What do you do if a guy is like, oh, I don't want to do video, or let's just talk, let's skip that, or why do we need to do that? Do we rule him out automatically, or do we approach it in a different way? What do you recommend?
I mean, to be honest, most of the time we're just out.
Yeah, right?
Like, it's already combative.
Yeah. I'm with you.
We do have to, just to make sure, we do have to pitch it right up front. Be like, it would feel so nice if we could just do like a 15-minute phone call. And then if that goes well, we'll set up an in-person date. So now you've kind of said what the cadence is that you want. And the right guy is going to be like, if he's really interested in you, is going to be like, oh, I can do that cadence. He's not going to like give you pushback. He'll be like, I know how to make the sale here if we're talking sales terms because I'm an ex-sales guy.
Right.
Here's how I make the sale. Well, let me do the work. So
if someone's being douchey McDouchers, you just go, okay, because they're ruling themselves out. We always say on our campus, rule them in until they rule themselves out.
Yeah.
Right. And if it's something obvious, like, send me a picture of your boobs, or I'm not doing that, just like, no, thank you. Okay. Here's my other question about your method. And you kind of alluded to this. And maybe set it up so the listeners who haven't listened to other episodes know. But like basically you're going on Match.com and you're looking at all the possible matches and you're reaching out to the ones, it's four and above, like out of 10 in terms of attractiveness. Is that still
correct? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what I hear sometimes when people are being challenging is they're like, there's nobody who's a 4, or these guys don't live close enough to me, or what if I've already reached out to all these 4s and nobody's interested? Like, what do you say to those sorts of things when people aren't? They're either ranking they're being picky, not discerning, when they're coming up with reasons why they can't reach out to people.
I mean, there's kind of an answer to all of those. So if it's an attractiveness thing, we got to give these guys a chance. Look at the Isabella story.
Yeah.
Wasn't attracted, got married. She's happy as can be. If it's a distance thing, we've got to increase the distance. If it's, if you're really 200 miles from the nearest city, then, if you need to increase it to 200 miles, do so. And then your first 3 dates should be Zoom. And then if it's going well, 4th date, you can meet in the middle. So that solves that. If you're saying there's no good guys out there, it's really like 99% of the time just a numbers thing. If you've gotten 100 messages, I'm expecting, honestly, 5 of them to be a fit for you. So instead of just waiting for the incoming, we got to do outgoing and send 50, 100, maybe even 1,000. Sometimes we send 1,000 messages. So the process is a 50-12-1. We ask 50 guys out. We're expecting about 12 of them to say yes, and then we pick one, and we repeat that 6 to 8 times to find someone you like. But there have been times where I send 50, we don't get our 12, and now all of a sudden we're sending 100, and then 150, then 300. So when women come to me, they don't understand the amount of metrics and the amount of outgoing messages that I send to get to this. It's really a very big number. And so when women come to me, they're like, oh, yeah, I sent like 12 messages. I sent 20. No, we've got to send sometimes hundreds, maybe even thousands.
I love this. Okay, so here's my example, my analogy. So I wrote a book and I wanted to get an agent. So I hired the Mike G of getting an agent. I found that guy. And so I do all the work, right? I get all my assets together. And he gives me this list of like 600 or 700 agents that are in my genre. And he draws a line. He's like, okay, these 300 and whatever are the top. And you're going to rank them. Literally, it was the same thing. I ranked them. And then I sent to the 1s. And then I was going to send to the 2s. And basically what he said to me at the beginning was like, look, you might have to send to the 1s, the 2s, the 3s. you still might not get any. That's okay. You're going to send the next 300 or 400, and that's okay. And then if we still don't get them, then we're going to wait 6 months. Or we're going to freaking do it again. And I was thinking about our clients and our listeners because I was like, I don't need a lot. I don't need 20 people to love me. I need one, right? And I believe in me and I believe in my work. So it's just a matter of finding that right fit. So, I sent out I think 258 queries, right, in that first round. And I did find one, and I got a shit ton of no's, and I got a shit ton of maybe could you change it this way or could you change it that way, which is all totally fair. But I really thought about this is like the Mike method, and you have to go into it just as you said, who cares how many messages you send, right? It's not a reflection of who you are or your worthiness. It's just do it, and it's cut and paste, people. I had to work a whole lot harder. I couldn't do cut and paste.
Yeah, we need to remove the shame.
Yes.
No shame to the game. Just get it done. What is your goal? Do you want to fall in love? If you want to fall in love, do the work. I mean, that's it.
I love it. And you can, you can, when you have that attitude and you get rid of the shame, that impacts, we're all about the energy that you're putting out there, right? So if you're sitting there metaphorically or physically with your arms crossed or looking at, I did remember this moment when I was online dating and I opened my laptop and I looked and I was like, oh God, it's the same fucking guys, and I was like, oh God, I'm here too. That's not the right energy to date. That's when I close it up and I need a refresh. So I think the mindset thing is super, super important. What's the most motive? I think of you as the easy coach. You're who's that super cute? Can't remember his name right now. The coach of the Packers. Do you watch football?
Oh God, yeah.
LaFleur, Mike LaFleur.
Oh, is it? Oh, they got a new coach. Oh yeah, McCartney got fired, didn't he?
Yeah, there's this. I'm gonna look it up because
there's a cute one now.
Oh,
okay.
He's so cute. If you look at the coach of the Buccaneers and the Packers, it's literally the football coach calendar for 2022. They're so cute. There's no John. Matt LaFleur. Look him up, ladies.
Not talking about Bruce Arians. He's in his 70s.
Yeah, no. He's not. But this is the new generation. If you're interested in sports, definitely Google Matt LaFleur.
Oh,
he's super
I did
cute.
Just Google him. That is a good-looking man,
right?
He looks like he was on The Bachelor.
I know. He's so cute. I love him. I love the Packers right now. Okay. Anyway, I don't even know why was I. You're the Matt LaFleur of dating coaching. Okay, so you're out there and it's everyone, the team, everyone's out because of COVID, but this game matters. What's the Mike G motivational speech in the locker room to the ladies that are listening who are New year, I'm going to find love. It's the year of the man, but they're not really feeling it, but they're saying it. What do you say in the locker room?
I just want to kind of go back to what we were talking about, the no shame. I'm not going to ask any of you to do something that I haven't done. To start this business, to be a dating coach, first of all, a dating coach doesn't really exist. We watched Hitch a few times and we're like, ooh, Will Smith made a movie. Maybe we could do this as a career, especially in New York City. It didn't exist, more so in LA. But when I was in New York, there wasn't a dating coach. So what I did was I went to my friends and I said, hey, can I coach you for free? And there was no shame. And a lot of them said no, what the hell? I don't want to tell you anything. And then I just kept going to more and more friends and friends of friends and family friends and people I barely knew and people I met at a restaurant. And for 2 years, I didn't make any freaking money. And I just pounded the pavement and just kept giving coaching advice until I got 7 people married, until my method got recognized and got me on the Today Show. And then that got me partnered with Match, OkCupid, Harmony, where they started sharing their data with me, and I shared my method. And then I got more recognition on countless publications and access to Marni's podcast. None of this would have happened if I got rid of the shame.
Right.
I didn't care. I got rejected. I've been rejected hundreds, if not thousands, definitely thousands of times to say, hey, can I give you dating advice? And people say no. But the goal was always, I wanted the freedom of a business and I wanted to help people fall in love and I wanted the divorce rate to go down. So those were my shining star, my North Star. Help people fall in love, lower the divorce rate.
I love that.
So thank you. And so it didn't matter how I got there. I had to put in the work and get it done. If your goal is to fall in love, have no shame. I do this with my clients just to really hammer it home. Sometimes we will message someone, they don't respond. A month later, we message them again. A month later, we message them again. I don't care. Maybe they were on sabbatical. Maybe they pulled a Marni and decided to go tour the US. I don't know, but I want to know if they want to fall in love at this moment. And there is no shame. I will message everybody over and over again until we find the person that is going to fall in love with my client.
I freaking love that. I'd be like, maybe you're not Matt LaFleur. Maybe you're Ted Lasso. Do you ever watch Ted Lasso?
I play soccer. I got to watch it. I don't have Apple. I got to get Apple.
You could get a free trial, by the way. No, the reason why I'm saying that is because it's this sweet motivation. And one of the things that Ted Lasso says, and this is kind of what you alluded to. Can you tell I've been watching a lot of sports television? He has a little sign in his locker room, and it says "believe," and that's, I think, what is the most important thing is you go into this. Whether you're listening to this at the top of the year, whenever you're listening to this, you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in men. You have to believe in the process. You have to believe in the universe that wants you to be partnered. There is no one person who God, source, universe says everybody except her. No, that's not true. And so if you can find that belief and you can get rid of the shame and you use a freaking strategy and you put focus and commitment and you're courageous in it, then you will be a success story. It's not really rocket science. It's just putting the right mix of things together into one focused effort to get a result. And I think that's the most important piece is that it's putting all those things together. Because if you have strategy and no belief, not going to work. If you have no shame, but you don't believe and you have a strategy, you won't put your heart into it. So it's really about firing on all cylinders. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I mean, you're just 100% right. I've seen this over the last 15 years. I saw my method, where I was doing it perfect, and the client, we did it perfect. We gave them so many great options, and then they failed. But then, we send that same client to Marni. They come back to me, and then we do the method. All of a sudden, they're in partnership. So it's got to be both.
It's got to be both. That's why we are I want to find another really. Oh, did you watch? Do you ever watch Marvel movies?
Oh, I love Marvel.
Okay, did you watch Hawkeye?
Oh, not that one.
You got to watch it. It's on Disney Plus. When I kept saying watch Hawkeye, my husband kept thinking I was saying hot guy. Can we watch Hot Guy? But Hawkeye is Clint, the archery guy. Mm-hmm. And he's got this new sidekick because, the other one, she let go in the other movie and she died. But now he's got this new woman who's like his sidekick. And so together they're fighting crime. And that's you and me. Except we're actually helping women find hot guys.
That was the best story I've ever heard. You're like, Marvel people? No, that's Marni and Mike. I love
Exactly. We're like Eminem. Dun, da, da, da. We're like destroying shame, creating belief, and using strategy so that Cupid's arrow will find you. Dun, da, da, da. That's our commercial.
I have a baby Cupid picture that was Photoshopped with my face on it. That'll be the superhero logo. We're already ready. We could do this.
We could totally do this. Mike, you're amazing. I truly meant it. Come to the desert. Let's drink coffee and tea and whatever it is that you drink and sit by the pool and just hang out because I really love your energy and you're just freaking brilliant.
Thank you.
Ladies, just do what Mike says. Can you do that for me? Life check yourself. If you this is your homework. Listen to this episode again. And we talked about sabotage moves. We talked about limiting beliefs. We talked about mistakes that you make. Be honest. Do the inventory. And look at where the gaps are and then create an action plan to change it up rather than going, oh, that was a really good episode, and then just listening to the next one. Freaking do something about it. Mike, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And ladies, whatever you do, freaking life check yourself. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for tuning into today's show. So if being in an intimate relationship in which you feel 100% seen, heard, and accepted by a high caliber man is a priority for you right now, and you're interested in seeing if you're a fit for working with me and my team at Dating with Dignity, here's what I want you to do. Just head over to DWD VIP, that's D as in dating, W, D as in dating, VIP.com, and book a call to speak with my team. We'll get on the phone with you for about 60 minutes, and you'll get crystal clear on what's stopping you from finding true love right now. We'll also take a look at what you want to create, what you want your whole life to look like when you're able to finally be fully expressed as a woman in a healthy relationship with an incredible guy. And if we can help you get from where you are right now to where you want to be, we will show you the fastest path possible that makes sense for you to do that. We help smart, successful women all over the world solve this one missing piece in their life so they can finally have it all. So to see if we can help you do the same thing, head over to DWDVIP.com. I'm Marni Batista, and let's talk soon.